We've got psychotherapist Dr. Nanette Funderburk and licensed clinical social worker Adam Goldhammer, and they're here answering your questions. And so let's go back to our discussion, guys, as we were having it. This person was asking, if you're uncomfortable leaning on others when you're feeling down, what other options can you do? Adam, what do you think?
One of the things that I always suggest is seeking out a professional, in that situation, a counselor, but even more so to the point of the question would be also like utilize like journaling or drawing as a technique. If you don't like to utilize other people to lean on, being able to write down your thoughts is a way to process them.
That is a great way, all those different things, the creativeness, so that it gets out of your mind again. Okay. Nanette, this person says, can you explain why I feel so much better when I talk about a serious or traumatic event with friends and family? I often repeat myself, but I find that it helps. Why is that?
You know, I often look at it like, when we take in, it's like taking in food. When we take in literal food, and this is a little TMI, but you have to, but whenever you take in anything, it has to come out, basically. And so emotionally, it's the same way. When we take in this emotional food, it has to come out of us. Whether we have good food or healthy food or junk food, it has to come out of us. Same thing with this emotional stuff that we're taking in. It has to come out of us. And once it does, we do tend to feel a little bit better.
Okay, let's talk about social media and TV. I mean, anytime anything like something like this happens, it is all over TV. It is all over social media. I know, Adam, you were saying that you thought parents need to be careful about what they say with all of those things.
Absolutely. I think that just being mindful of your environment and knowing that the kids are always listening, I think that that's a big part of it, and not exposing them to too much detail that they might not be ready for, I think is a big part of that. It is a social media age. There are going to be things across social media that go from one person to the next. So we don't want to add to that panic at all in the situation. Make sure that we're only giving them the information that we feel is necessary for them to process.
Yeah, and is it something that everyone, no matter what age they are, needs to maybe give themselves some parameters of how much they're going to watch or read or look at, Nanette?
Absolutely, absolutely, because what you take in is what you take in, and I would also say for those parents and caregivers out there, we know parents are scared too. Parents and caregivers get your own help in this situation, because when you are well, you are then able to help your child be well.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the mental health of the adults in the situation, because a lot of parents are very fearful right now and are just kind of like hanging on. So what do we do as parents to calm ourselves down so that we can be the best help to our kids? Adam, let's start with you, and then I know Nanette will follow that up.
So I think that a lot of things that can happen is just bouncing ideas off of one another. Make sure you're taking that with a grain of salt as well, because each kid is going to be at their own developmental set, and you might say to yourself, oh, well, my kid's not there yet. And that is okay for your kid not to be there yet. You got to look at this from a developmental standpoint, and not every kid's going to be ready for that. But also just be ready for your own mental health. I go back to the analogy of, if you're wounded, you're not going to be able to probably help someone else that's wounded in that situation as well. So just make sure that you're being mindful of the things that are coming to your mind, and make sure that you're seeking out the help, whether it's peer or professional.
Mm-hmm. And definitely, parents, the things that you do, you are models for your children. So if you seek help, and if you find it easy, or at least demonstrate that it's easy to seek help, it will be easier for them to seek help as well. So you want to have a conversation about, hey, yeah, I'm going to my therapy session, or mommy and auntie so-and-so, we're about to, we're just going to go have some adult time and just have some conversation. This has been too much for me, or something like that. Just letting them know that I don't have to shoulder this as though it didn't impact me, because it has impacted everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes we think that we have to be the strong one and show that there's no weakness, but we need to also model for them what it's like to be positive in looking for help and using that during the situation. Thank you both for joining us, lending your expertise.